Guys, welcome back to the Wrestling Rundown. I'm Travis Colt, and what the fuck happened on Smackdown? I'm just... Welcome to Tuesday Night Live. Okay, let's talk about this. So we opened up with the contract signing that was supposed to officially sign Kofi versus Daniel Bryan for the WWE Championship at Fastlane. We were just about there. The only thing that hadn't happened was Kofi hadn't signed the contract yet. And then Vince McMahon came out because we had Daniel, we had Rowan, we had Shane, Stephanie, and all three members of the New Day out there. But then Vince comes out and talks about how great Kofi is, but that it's his duty to make sure that the matches are the same kind of speech that he gave when he took Becky out of the main event of WrestleMania and put Charlotte in it, and replaced Kofi Kingston with a returning Kevin Owens. So now the main event is Kevin Owens versus Daniel Bryan at Fastlane. Then we had Owens ask Shane and Stephanie for a tag team match, like, hey, I know that Kofi deserves this, so put me in a match, me and him versus Rowan and Bryan. So that ends up being our main event. Then the Bar was in tag team action, even though a couple days ago we were told that Johnny Gargano was going to go one-on-one with Cesaro. So I was like, okay, the Bar are in tag team action. They must be going against DIY. No, they're going against the Hardy Boys. What the fuck? Matt's back. Matt had a post-match interview. The Hardys beat the Bar, by the way. Hardy's announced, Matt announced that he's taken control of the Woken character, or the Broken Brilliance, the Woken Warrior, that he has control, and that him and Jeff are the greatest tag team in time and space. Okay. Lana is not impressed with Aleister Black and Ricochet, and she let them know that they were going to fail in their tag team match against Shinsuke Nakamura and Rusev. The Honky Tonk Man's going into the Hall of Fame. R-Truth brought back the United States Open Challenge. It was accepted by both Andrade Cien Almas and Zelina Vega came down. They were at the bottom of the ramp. Then all of a sudden Rey Mysterio came out and punched Andrade in the face, and then got in the ring, and then Andrade got in the ring, and then somehow R-Truth was like, well, I don't want to do this. And apparently his idol is John Cena. But he's like, hey, what would John Cena do? John Cena would apparently fight both of them, which he probably would. So R-Truth did that. And R-Truth retained the United States title by defeating Andrade Cien Almas and Rey Mysterio. Almas then attacked Rey afterwards. Rey got the upper hand, tried to go for a 619, and missed. So we're still running with Andrade Cien Almas versus Rey Mysterio, which is great. Charlotte came out and said that on Raw she's going to walk out so Vince McMahon can appoint her as the new Raw Women's Champion, since Ronda Rousey just kind of left the belt there, and that Becky Lynch isn't in the main event, and that she's the number one contender, and all kinds of stuff. Aleister Black and Ricochet defeated Rusev and Nakamura. AJ Styles says he's ready for whatever is next. A lot of people questioning where he's going to go, saying that he's at a slump for the first time in his career. And apparently, his next path leads towards Randy Orton, which I'm totally cool with. I think Randy Orton versus AJ Styles, I mean, it's not the first time it's happened. I'm excited to see like a full-fledged feud between the two. Lacey Evans walked out. That happened. They said the Usos were going to be on. Maybe I misheard that, but I didn't see any Usos. If you did, let me know down below. And then in the main event, Kevin Owens and Kofi Kingston defeated the new Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan in tag team action. Alright, then on 205 Live, we started the 8-man tournament to determine who's going to face Buddy Murphy at WrestleMania. We had Tony Nese defeat Kalisto. Jack Gallagher was teaching Humberto Carrillo the ways that the Submission Commission works, saying, hey, you did this high-flying move, but you could have done just as much damage with a properly applied wrist lock, so teaching him a little bit. He's actually going to be in action next week. We'll talk about that in a second. Drake assured Mike Kanellis that he will have a match next week and told them both to go home, spend time with their baby. And I think they both assumed that he was going to be in the tournament, but that's not going to happen. We'll talk about that more in a second. And Drew Gulak advanced over the Brian Kendrick, making him pass out to the Gulak. So next week we're going to have Humberto Carrillo versus Oni Lorcan from NXT, and we're going to have Cedric Alexander versus Akira Tozawa. So will Humberto apply some of the teachings that Jack and perhaps Drew have given him? We'll know next week. All right, so I'm by myself, and I don't know if I like or love or I don't dislike anything. I'm just very confused. Okay, here's what I'll do. I like the fact that Matt Hardy is back. I think that's great. That's great for him. That means that his, maybe he's fixed out, or he's fixed up the issues where his pelvis and his spine. I don't know. He had some sort of issue where like bones were fused together and it was all kinds of weird shit. So maybe he's gotten that figured out. Hard to tell. He looked great in the ring. Didn't seem like he was hurting like he was a few months ago when he decided to leave for a bit. I think I'm not sure how I feel about the Woken character being kind of like put away. Is this kind of rebranding the Hardys to do their thing? Because when Matt did the Woken Warrior gimmick, Jeff was out for a bit, and he had already kind of started it and did the whole thing with Bray Wyatt. So maybe this is going in a more direction for Woken Matt Hardy and obsolete Jeff Hardy or Brother Nero. Not really sure. So yeah, I don't dislike it. I'm very curious what it's going to do and whether or not the Hardy Boys really need to be in the tag team division. There's already a lot of really good tag teams, but yeah, it's cool. I'm thrilled that Matt Hardy is back. It's never a bad time to see the Hardy Boys. I mean, they're one of the greatest tag teams of all time and space. So yeah. Now here's the thing. I love that Kevin Owens is back. And I don't love that Kofi Kingston's not getting a title match at Fastlane. But I do. I'm torn here. So here's my thing. I think I know what they're doing. The fact that they're kind of doing the same thing with Kofi that they did with Becky. They are obviously the absolute fan favorites. Everybody wants to see Becky Lynch in the main event of WrestleMania. Everybody wants to see Kofi Kingston as WWE champion. I don't think Vince McMahon is that dumb. I don't think he's that out of touch that he cannot see that. So here's what I think they're doing. In the same way that they capitalized on the fact that Raw was having very low ratings and they blamed it all on Baron Corbin, what they're doing now is they're like, Vince doesn't understand the worth of Becky Lynch. Vince doesn't see the worth of Kofi Kingston. So, what they're doing is they're putting these fan favorites in exactly the place that the people want them. And they're having, okay, the McMahons are in control. So, Shane is making decisions. Stephanie's making decisions. Triple H is making decisions. And they're decisions that people are enjoying. And then Vince, the one that everyone thinks is completely out of touch, is coming out and completely ruining those promised things. Those things that the fans really want to see. So this might benefit us in a way that maybe at Fastlane we will get Kevin Owens versus Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan wins, Kofi Kingston gets involved somehow, or something's going to happen to where we might actually get Daniel Bryan versus Kofi Kingston at WrestleMania. Same with Becky. We only have another week of shows because it's next Sunday. Next Sunday is Fastlane. Not this coming Sunday, the following Sunday. And so they have one more week to really determine whether or not they're going to do... So if Charlotte's going to Raw to essentially be given the championship, Ronda, I don't think is going to let that happen. Is Becky going to get involved again? It's a very interesting... So I am so invested in what's happening here. I'm scared. I'm worried. I want to be mad, which is great because that's exactly what they're trying to do. I'm curious what this, the road to WrestleMania, I mean, it's taken some weird turns. I'm just wondering how we get from this point to WrestleMania in a way that's not going to completely piss everybody off, because if there was ever a time to not piss off your fans, WWE, it's now. When you have AEW starting to build up and they've got a show like a month and a half after yours, I mean, you obviously got to start doing stuff to show that you care about the fans, because AEW is making sure they care about the fans. Yeah, it's so weird. Like, I don't know what to like, what to love. I don't like I said, I'm trying not to dislike anything. I dislike wrestling fans because they're fucking assholes, myself included. Not in the same, anyway, wrestling fans are fucking terrible. But it's such a weird thing that they're doing, and it's like, okay, you've got like a little over a month until WrestleMania. Like, how's this all gonna come? I'm curious. I'm invested. I don't know. I want to be excited, but I want to be mad, and I want to say no. I'm not gonna watch WrestleMania, or I'm not gonna watch Fastlane, but I know I'm going to, because why not? It's so weird. It's hard to determine what's going on here. I think I might have an idea. I don't know. I'm hoping. I am at a loss and kind of excited. Also, give a little bit of love to 205 Live. I love the fact that Tony Nese got to move forward in a tournament. He wasn't eliminated first round. I have a feeling that he is going to get to the finals, potentially be in the match against Buddy. I mean, at this point, it's got to be either him or Humberto, just because neither of them have really been in that spot, especially against Buddy. Well, I guess Humberto was, because he was kind of he answered the open challenge, but I don't know. It's hard to tell. Like I said, man, Road to WrestleMania is crazy. I have rambled. I apologize. If you liked it, let me know. Let me know down below how you feel about all these situations. Be a fan. Go down there and talk about what you like, what you dislike. Don't be a fucking asshole. Like all these. Oh man, I'm sure people understand what I'm mad about. If not, feel free to contact me on Twitter. All that stuff is down below. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for everyone that does comment and like and subscribe and check out all the stuff that we do. We appreciate it very much. Robbie K will be back tomorrow for the midweek wrap-up. Just some schedule conflicts allowed only me to do the Tuesday Night Live, so look forward to that. Follow him on Instagram. His link's down there. You can follow him on Twitter, but I don't think he uses it anymore. You also want to check out the podcast, where you get this review and all of our regular reviews in podcast form. And we want to check out Reasonable Wrestling Fans. That's Reasonable with a W, like wrestling, where we have the list with Robbie K. We have Question of the Week with Thomas Wolfe. We have other videos loosely based around wrestling. We have an entire playlist of unboxing videos, where we get micro brawlers, Funko Pops, we get Braun, we get t-shirts, we get all kinds of cool stuff. So go check all that stuff out. And you can check out the entire playlist of punishment videos. You can see the brand new one that was just posted last week, where I received a punishment due to my inability to pick matches or determine winners from Elimination Chamber. But for now, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you at whatever video you decide to watch next.